The dark secrets of trust and betrayal, the Taylor Wright crime story. They say trust is the foundation of any relationship, but what happens when that trust is shattered in the most devastating way possible? Imagine confiding in someone you considered a close friend, handing over your hard-earned money, only to find that their intentions were far more sinister. This is the tragic tale of Taylor Wright, a private investigator who placed her trust in a friend, only to meet a horrific end. Prepare yourself as we unravel a chilling story of betrayal, deceit, and murder. This is the crime that left a quiet community in shock, where the line between friend and foe blurred fatally. The question remains, how could someone you know so well commit the ultimate act of betrayal? Taylor Wright wasn't an ordinary woman. She was a former police officer and private investigator, known for her fierce determination and her unwavering commitment to uncovering the truth. But even those who are trained to spot deception can sometimes fall victim to it. Born in Jacksonville, North Carolina in 1983, Taylor was a tough, independent woman who believed in working hard for what she wanted. She excelled at martial arts, was a decorated athlete in her youth, and went on to study criminal justice, dreaming of a life fighting crime. Her ambition was as strong as her resolve, and eventually she found herself working in law enforcement. Taylor's career in law enforcement wasn't just a job, it was a passion. She had a keen eye for detail, was an expert at reading people, and gained a reputation for her skill in investigations. But like many, her personal life wasn't as structured or successful as her professional one. She married Jeffrey Wright in 2003, and together they had a son. It seemed like a picture-perfect life from the outside, but behind closed doors, the marriage was filled with turbulence. By 2015, after a decade of fighting, arguing, and growing apart, Taylor and Jeffrey filed for divorce. What followed was a bitter, emotionally draining custody battle over their son, which left Taylor emotionally and financially drained. Facing mounting legal bills, Taylor began to look for ways to protect the small amount of money she had left. After withdrawing $100,000 from a joint account she had with her ex-husband, she used most of the funds to cover her legal expenses, leaving her with $40,000. Desperate to safeguard the remaining money, she turned to someone she thought she could trust, Ashley MacArthur. Ashley MacArthur wasn't just an acquaintance of Taylor Wright. She was someone Taylor considered a close friend. A former crime scene technician with a law enforcement background, Ashley had all the traits that would make someone like Taylor feel secure. Ashley's calm, trustworthy demeanor made her seem like the perfect person to safeguard Taylor's money. But beneath that facade of reliability, Ashley harbored a darker, more calculating personality. Taylor entrusted Ashley with the $40,000, believing that her friend would hold it safely until she could access it again. But unbeknownst to Taylor, Ashley had no intention of keeping the money safe. Instead, she saw it as an opportunity to spend freely, without Taylor's knowledge. Over the course of a few months, Taylor repeatedly asked Ashley for the money back, but each time Ashley had an excuse. Whether it was banking issues or personal delays, the excuses piled up, and Taylor grew increasingly frustrated. By the summer of 2017, Taylor Wright was running out of patience. The $40,000 she had left with Ashley was nowhere to be found, and Ashley's excuses were wearing thin. In August, Taylor finally reached a breaking point. She threatened to use her connections within law enforcement to uncover what was really happening, thinking this would push Ashley to return the money. But Ashley's reaction wasn't what Taylor had expected. Instead of complying, Ashley became evasive and distant, raising even more suspicion. Taylor confided in her partner, Cassandra Waller, about her growing concerns. She told Cassandra that she was starting to feel like Ashley was hiding something, and she feared she would never see her money again. Despite her unease, Taylor agreed to meet Ashley one final time to settle the matter. Little did she know, this meeting would be the last time she was ever seen alive. On the morning of September 8, 2017, Taylor Wright and Ashley MacArthur made plans to meet. Ashley promised they would go to the bank to retrieve the $40,000 that had caused so much tension between them. Taylor, despite her instincts, decided to give Ashley one last chance to make things right. She left her home that morning, telling Cassandra she'd be back soon. But as the hours ticked by, Taylor didn't return. That day, Taylor's phone went silent. No calls, no texts, nothing. It was completely out of character for someone like Taylor to go dark for so long, and Cassandra grew worried. When hours turned into days, Cassandra's worry escalated into panic. She reported Taylor missing to the Pensacola Police Department, but at first they weren't convinced. They believed Taylor had gone off on her own, perhaps to escape the stress of the custody battle, but Cassandra knew better. Taylor wouldn't just disappear, especially not without her son. Days turned into a week, and there was still no sign of Taylor. Her friends and family were desperate for answers, but law enforcement initially moved slowly. Then, a text message came through from Taylor's phone, saying she needed to get away for a while. But Cassandra immediately knew something was wrong. Taylor would never leave without telling her face-to-face, and the tone of the text didn't match Taylor's usual way of speaking. Law enforcement began to investigate further, finally taking the case seriously. They uncovered a disturbing detail. Taylor's personal belongings were all found in her home, including her wallet, ID, and even her gun. She hadn't taken anything with her, which didn't align with the idea that she had voluntarily left town. With these new developments, the investigation intensified. Friends and acquaintances of Taylor were questioned, and one name kept coming up: Ashley MacArthur. As police looked deeper into Ashley's story, they found inconsistencies. Ashley claimed she had seen Taylor on the day she disappeared, but her version of events didn't add up. She told police that Taylor had left in a hurry after they had gone for a drive, but there were no witnesses or evidence to support her claims. The more police dug into Ashley MacArthur's life, the more suspicious they became. While Ashley had portrayed herself as a loyal friend, her financial records told a different story. Investigators discovered that Ashley had been spending large amounts of money in the days following Taylor's disappearance, money that should have been in the safety deposit box. As the pressure mounted, Ashley's carefully constructed story began to crumble. Ashley tried to maintain her innocence, but the evidence was stacking up against her. Detectives learned that she had recently purchased concrete and had been seen on her family's rural property around the time of Taylor's disappearance. But it wasn't until they searched the property that the grim truth was finally revealed. On October 19th, 2017, over a month after Taylor Wright vanished, police made a discovery that would send shockwaves through the community. Buried on Ashley MacArthur's family farm, wrapped in a blanket and concealed with concrete, they found Taylor's body. She had been shot in the back of the head, a cold, calculated execution. Forensic evidence would later reveal that she had likely been killed on the same day she went missing. With this discovery, Ashley MacArthur was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. The woman who had once been a trusted friend was now the prime suspect in a brutal killing. But even as the evidence against her mounted, Ashley maintained her innocence, insisting that she had nothing to do with Taylor's death. Ashley MacArthur's trial began in August 2019, nearly 2 years after Taylor Wright's murder. Prosecutors painted a picture of a greedy, manipulative woman who had killed her friend in cold blood to avoid paying back the $40,000 she had stolen. The defense, meanwhile, tried to cast doubt on the prosecution's narrative, suggesting that someone else could have been responsible for Taylor's death. But the evidence was damning. Forensic experts testified that the bullet that killed Taylor matched a gun owned by Ashley's family, and the timeline of events pointed squarely at Ashley as the perpetrator. After a gripping and emotional trial, the jury took just 90 minutes to reach a verdict. On August 30th, 2019, Ashley MacArthur was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. Justice had been served, but for Taylor's family and friends, the pain of her loss would never fully fade. They had trusted Ashley, and that trust had been shattered in the most horrifying way imaginable. The tragic story of Taylor Wright is a stark reminder of the dangers of misplaced trust. Even those we consider friends can harbor dark secrets and sinister intentions. Taylor's life was cut short by someone she trusted, someone who should have been there to protect her. Instead, that trust was exploited and betrayed, leading to a brutal and senseless murder. For Taylor Wright's family, her son and her partner, the pain of her loss will always remain, but her story also serves as a powerful warning. Trust is a precious thing, and once it's broken, it can lead to consequences far beyond what we can imagine. If you found this video informative and want to see more true crime stories that delve deep into the investigations, be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on notifications. We'll be covering more cases just like this one, where justice prevails, no matter how long it takes. Thanks for watching, and remember to stay safe out there.